Hello, everyone. In case you haven't been made aware yet, quick introduction. My name is Gay Marie Cannon. I live in Dutchess County, New York, and I am most known for a legislative bill called Bailey's Law regarding the loss of my son and protection of people most vulnerable, which has been a lifelong advocacy aspect in my life. I have been a lifelong advocate my entire life. I have been law shepherding and advocating, and I was raised by an advocate. I was raised under, and also under constitutional, in a constitutional framework, because of my grandfather's position that was extremely elite service. And I'm going to leave it at that part at that. I'm doing this video because I, in particular, have a very strong sense of public civic duty. And so this video is literally my civic duty to publicly inform. It's public notice based on my civic duty. And that's how I see it. This conversation is regarding specifically municipal taxes. And I'm going to be utilizing our own situation here in Dutchess County. But we'll get to the rest later. Okay, so this case is regarding Dutchess County, New York Legislature in particular, and the Dutchess County Wastewater Authority. Now, the tax notices that have been issued through the county, town, county, and the wastewater authority are completely, unequivocally illegal and not collectible, because there are certain defects within it, okay, within those tax notices. The first dead giveaway is this is not a bill. Well, they can't make it a tax and charge you that money if it's not a bill. There are other structural, constitutional failures in these notices. I was tracing my own bill starting on November 15th. By November 22nd, I knew that there was an unequivocal problem. I warned every single Dutchess County legislator. I warned every single member of the board of the Dutchess County Water Authority. I literally thought that they were making a mistake, an error. Little did I know, no, this was intentional. These illegal taxes are absolutely intentional. There's already been a reversal by the Appellate Second Circuit that declared the county's tax methodologies unconstitutional. This case was dated 2012, and they are still using these illegal tax methodologies. There is a particular statute, and it's called the Mullane. The case is called Mullane, I believe, versus Hanover Bank or something like that, which basically states that the tax notices, any tax notice that affects the property owner or puts an obligation on that property owner, has to convey meaningful information about that tax. And yet ours look like a miscellaneous bill that we've been paying. Now, here's the thing. The tax notices specifically, constitutionally, violate the Mullane case, New York Town Law, Town A. Yeah, New York Town Law A. Plain language. They're not a bill. And the taxes that they've been collecting all of this time under the special benefits assessment, they've been collecting as a flat tax rate. Also illegal. Now, I've done my research. All of my documents that are currently in the SDNY as a pro se, over 45 days, not yet dismissed, which, you know, puts me in the upper echelon of success so far, just so far, because normally they're dismissed within 30 days. The issue is that these taxes, okay, how governments make, you know, utilize this. These taxes basically are set up as loans, okay? So they count on this amount of money in taxes, then they take out a loan called a ban. And the bans typically only run for 5 years. By the 5th year, it has to convert into a bond. Bonds. That's right. The stock market. Now, if the taxes are illegal and the ban gets converted to a bond for 20 to 30 years, that's literally a lien on everyone's property for that entire time, plus the increased rates that they've been getting away with, the insolvency situation that they're in, chronic insolvency, and, you know, the fact that these taxes are collected at a flat rate is completely illegal. It violates the very premise of special benefit assessments. Now, here's the second part. The Hyde Park Water Regional Project is completely, totally illegal. And I know, because I've used all of the documents I've used are their own. They're the county documents, they're the you know, the Water Authority documents, and they're state documents, publicly available to everyone without having to check into a portal. Okay, so these are, you can just pull these up to verify. All right, why does the Hyde Park Regional, why is it illegal? Now, someone in another support, you know, in another advocacy group, and I'm not going to name names because, to be honest, everybody is doing their best, okay? And I'm not here to slam people. To be honest, I never even imagined that this would be the situation. I literally thought they were all just making a mistake and I was helping. No, they were committing a crime and they wanted to shut me down. That's the fact. And you should know that first I want to, before I get too much further, I want to let you know that because this is in the SDNY case, I want you to know that the Water Authority's own insurance company literally emailed me the disclaimer saying that you're on your own. We're not covering this because it was intentional. They all knew about it. Their insurance company has stated they are not going to give them an attorney, and they are not paying for damages. They're not paying the claim. And I got that on February 19th. The court has this document. I've confirmed that they've received it. So, being that we live in a very historic area, from, you know, the FDR to the Eleanor Roosevelt to Norris, you know, Norrie Point to Mills Mansion. I mean, it just, the list goes on and on and on. Okay. The county nor Water Authority ever pursued a SECRA, which is not optional. It's obligated. It's absolutely mandatory, and that is for our protection. And it's important for other advocates to realize lawlessness is not okay. Supporting lawlessness, not okay. If it's a shortcut, then it's not okay. Because it's illegal. You cannot justify illegal activity. Period. And that's what I mean by clean hands advocacy. You are not participating in the dirt. So this project is basically based on, at this point, what I'm challenging is resolution number 2025-241, which impacts 20 communities out of 30 districts in the county. We're talking 2/3 of the county. So, you know, and the project is completely segmented. They've been cited by the ABO and the OSC as being insolvent, having billing discrepancies. You know, they're reliant on the county for additional funds every single year, over $1 million. You know, this represents, as soon as it hit the bond, that bond is then sold to investors. The investors are investors of the housing market. These get bundled into CDOs, okay? They get bundled into bigger bundled, you know, securities packages. And they're sold globally. That is the problem here. This is a national security risk on every level. We are looking at 2008 all over again. If we do not address this, like proactively address this, calling it out in every community, because if it's happening here in Dutchess County, in the 8th largest economic hub of the globe, it is definitely happening in Mississippi, Tennessee, Ohio. I mean, it's happening nationally. This is a national security leak, and it makes all of those who are involved a national security risk to intentional coercion by international adversaries. I mean, this is a no-brainer. We cannot have this. We must insist on constitutional restoration. The Constitution is our backbone. And we cannot be afraid to utilize the courts, which is why I'm including pro se tips throughout my journey, throughout my previous, my lifelong history in courts, and going through this SDNY case, as well as just going through the 9JD case, the Article 78. So I want to help you, okay? I want to help you. I want to help the country. And we need to know, what is the financial status of the United States? We all know that it's, based on these imaginary numbers, but they've got to be somehow based in fact. And right now, it is not. And I've proven it's not. So if your taxes, if you don't understand your taxes, it does not meet the constitutional requirement. If you look at your bill and you don't get it, and you ask somebody else, do you get this? And they don't get it, it's illegal. Okay? I'm welcome to comments. You can follow me on Facebook, which is where the majority of the data is, but I will be continuing to update this YouTube channel because I feel like it's constitutionally very important right now as a nation that we come together on one thing, and that one thing is the U.S. Constitution. It is the one thing that legally binds all of us, every single one of us, by law. So, I am more than happy to answer questions. I am more than happy to share data. Stand up. say something. Share the data. It's important. Do it now.